I really, really cannot stand the simping ideology. And I just see it a lot from conservative media, and it drives me absolutely nuts. It drives me crazy. I go on the Michael Knowles show, and we talk about paternity fraud, and Michael Knowles tells me that it's super wrong to DNA test your child because the women might feel icky. We wouldn't want to hurt women's feelings. That's most important. Not raising your biological kid. Oh no, we can't ever question the women. So there is a story in the UK that he was covering, and I want to show how gynocentric the way he's covering it is.
A man has just been sentenced to jail for 12 years for slipping a woman an abortion pill in her drink. The woman gets up to use the bathroom. The man slips, not a Mickey, not a roofie. He slips an abortion pill to kill her child. This woman was 15 weeks pregnant. If you've ever been pregnant, or if your wife's ever been pregnant, 15 weeks, this is a baby. This is a pretty big baby. This baby's moving around. This baby is totally recognizable as a baby. You are on the way.
So he may not know this, but in the UK, abortion is legal and free up to 6 months. So I know this because I was in the UK. So I Googled the laws when I was there. Up to 6 months, you can go get a free abortion down at the clinic.
5 more weeks, the baby can.
And remember, I did the math on this one day. We would have a second city of London if we didn't have abortion today. Women have aborted an eighth of the world population. That is bigger than any genocide a man has committed.
Survive in some cases outside the womb. Abortion is wrong at all stages, but it's viscerally, knowably wrong at 15 weeks.
So remember, he's saying it's knowably wrong at 15 weeks. It's legal, and women do that all of the time.
This guy slips her an abortion pill. She starts to bleed. The baby is murdered by the pill, and then this man is brought up on charges. Stuart Warby, 40 years old. He apparently also gave her a bunch of other abortion tablets to try to make sure that this would work. Now, the woman has lifelong anonymity because she's the victim of a sexual offense, but she miscarried. She was horrified. She said, look, this might be the only time I can get pregnant. I am permanently traumatized by this. It's true. In reality, this guy should at the very least be imprisoned for life and probably should be executed by the state for what he did.
Okay. Michael. Question. Do you have the same energy for the women that get abortions? Because every time, and I can't remember if he said this issue specifically, but I've heard Ben Shapiro say this, I've heard Charlie Kirk say this. Every single time we have the equivalent for a woman, oh no, it's the doctor's fault. The doctors commit the abortion. Okay, but if I hire a hitman, who's responsible? Am I responsible? You could argue they both go to jail. Fine. But this is my challenge with conservative media. For this story that he did that, okay, we could say that's wrong. There's millions of women every year in the UK doing the exact same thing. Further along, for free, government funded. So it's tough for me to take this outrage that seriously when I don't really see that outrage over the women doing it. It's always pushed on to the men. And my question is, and I'm listening to this story, why would a man be so desperate to put an abortion pill in a woman's drink? Now, if we lived in a more fair society where, okay, you want to get pregnant by whoever you want, fine. You want to opt out of being a mother, fine. Maybe men should be able to opt out of being a father, opt out of child support. So my guess is he got a crazy woman pregnant, and that is why he took that extreme step. Still wrong. I'm not even disputing that maybe he should have jail time, but we have to acknowledge that if having sex with a crazy woman or an irresponsible man who doesn't want to be a dad is equally irresponsible. But after that equal irresponsibility, the man is supposed to take all of the responsibility and the woman is supposed to get none. So can you blame the men when they go to this extreme of measures when the next 18 years of their life is looking like it is going to be miserable? Again, not saying it's right, but can we at least see where this is coming from? Does he raise this as an issue? No.
He did, because he murdered a little baby. He jeopardized a woman's life. He murdered a woman's child. also happened to be his child.
I knew it. Oh, I knew it. Oh, I didn't even have to see the story. I knew it.
And forget whose child it is. He murdered a little innocent baby. This guy, at the very least, should be in prison for life without parole, and more likely should be executed by the state for what he did. If that kind of a crime does not merit the death penalty, I don't know what does. Or he should not be punished at all. Those are the two options. The only punishment that doesn't make any sense is 12 years in prison. What is 12 years in prison? If the baby had been born and he walked up and took a sledgehammer and smushed the baby, would he be given 12 years in prison? No, he'd be given life in prison or executed. Or if it wasn't really a baby, if he just walked up to a clump of cells, like a mass of, I don't know, an amoeba or something, and smashed that with a sledgehammer, he would be given no prison time. But what is 12 years? 12 years.
And see, this is what drives me crazy. Okay, we can go back and forth about the abortion debate. I think abortion is wrong, but let's be realistic, okay? I don't see it going anywhere if I'm just being honest here. But why would a man go to that extreme of measures to abort her child? It's because of the family court system. And all of these companies will spend all of this time debating and arguing about stuff that doesn't matter. And they say they're pro-family, but they don't spend a significant amount of time talking about the most important issue that is stopping families from being together, which is family court. We spend all of this time on all of these other issues that don't matter as much in terms of having families in the future.
Sentence for this crime is a perfect representation of our total incoherence on this issue. We can't resolve, as in our civilization, whether we want to protect babies or not. We don't want to answer that question.
Michael, the ladies have been so clear. Like, I don't know how much more clear. I know I feel unsafe from illegal immigration, but abortion! A significant amount of ladies have said, well, I know I'm losing 10% of my income every year because of inflation, but abortion! The ladies have said, I know student debt is off the charts, and I'm in a bunch of debt and I can't get a good job and gas prices are going up. But abortion! One side of this argument has been so clear. Even Melania Trump, abortion! Every single woman. There's exceptions, sure, but generally, you guys have to remember, the younger the woman is, the more likely she will use abortion as a way out. So the number one age of abortions is between 20 and 25. Right after that, it's 25 to 29. And then I don't know if teenagers is bigger than 30s. I'd have to look it up. But knowing this, it's very convenient when the ladies become pro-life. I'd like to say my mother was taking me to Sarah Palin pro-life rallies at 12 years old. So I've been watching this stuff for a minute, but that's not really the norm, right? So it's very convenient for the ladies to graduate college and then become pro-life. Or even the biggest pro-life speakers, it's very convenient that after they had their 3 abortions, they suddenly realized it was wrong. You may buy it, but we're not wrestling with this. The ladies have decided, unfortunately, that it's not a life. And even after Roe versus Wade, the number of abortions per year went up, not down. Everyone looked at that as, yay, Roe versus Wade. All it does, and I've gone to these feminist conventions, all they do is figure out ways to get the abortions by mail, loosen the restrictions, more Plan Bs, or there's even doctors that go into the other states, they travel so they can get the abortions. I don't say this in a happy way. I'm trying to be realistic here. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be honest.
Baby. This is a punishment of splitting the baby. But in the Bible, when splitting the baby comes up, it is used as an example to show the absurdity. You can't really split a baby. That's the worst possible. But here, that's what we're trying to do. A totally incoherent punishment. Louis C.K. made this point. He goes, I think that abortion, look, it's a woman's choice. It's woman's health care. It's like sitting down and using the toilet. Okay, it's just a bodily function. It has no moral significance.
That's how they treat it. I'm telling you guys, until you have met women personally that have had abortions and you see how little they care. I understand there's the ones that, and I see this a lot. I think there's two in the pro-life movement that became speakers after they performed 1,000,000 abortions. How convenient. Or after they had 1,000,000 abortions. How convenient. Sorry, the pessimist in me. I'm a happy person, just a happy pessimist. You know what I mean? It would seem a lot more sincere to me if they weren't making money off of it. Again, just like the Nala rebrand. I think it's very convenient. It's a very compelling story. But then take zero from speaker fees, take $0, then I'll believe it.
Or it's murder. But those are the only two things. It can't be some moderate crime. It's either nothing or it's infanticide. But I don't even understand what the argument would be that it's just this kind of moderate crime and you get, 12-year sentence, but you only serve 5 and then you get probation for this. This isn't insider trading. It's either murdering a baby or it's nothing. But they can't resolve it. So they give the actual worst sentence.
No, they only punish men. The action he took is legal for women, but illegal for men. Women are 100% in control of who's born. Women have a total monopoly on reproductive power. First time in all of history.
Which is a handful of years in prison. Okay. All right. That guy, he's lucky. He got off the hook for murdering a kid and killing a woman's kid and endangering her health. I guess he should count as lucky stars. But what a poor reflection on us. I remember during college, we were...
On us? Who wants it to be legal? Who was marching? Like, again, this is what drives me crazy, is something that is a female-pushed issue. The ladies are the ones marching for it. The ladies are the ones demanding this. The ladies are the ones screaming. They say, my body, my choice. Men cannot have an opinion on this issue. And the men say, fine. You guys want to go destroy your body? Okay. You guys want to have abortions? Okay. And then the conservatives will say, oh, but we can't decide on this as a society. Us. We all know what gender is pushing for that to be legal. They don't even deny it. They admit it.
We were debating all of the incipient debates over rape culture on college campuses and the Title IX lawsuits. And a lot of it seemed really incoherent because on the one hand, you'd have these leftists and feminists arguing that sex was not meaningful at all. You should just go out, engage in the hookup culture. There was no difference between how men and women approached sex. It was just a casual, fun thing.
You know how far my opinion has evolved on this? I actually think sex means more to men than women. Because the ladies are, am I supposed to not notice the women marching naked on the streets? I think more men want to be married than women. I think more men want commitment than women. You can't say sex is meaningful, and then I go outside and I go to Vegas and I see women with stickers on her boobs. What am I not supposed to see this? Notice?
Kind of like shaking someone's hand. But on the other hand, sexual assault was the worst crime ever. It was so serious that you shouldn't even be entitled to a trial by a jury of your peers. You should just immediately be expelled and have your life ruined if you were even suggested to have maybe engaged in any improper sexual activity. And it didn't make any sense. If sex is meaningless, then why is sexual assault different than any other assault? Why is it different than giving someone a shove or slapping them in the face? That's an incoherent point of view to hold. The left wanted to have it both ways. Our culture wants to have it both.
Okay, I'm going to read this article. Man who crushed abortion tablet into woman's orange juice, causing her to lose baby, is jailed. A man who crushed an abortion tablet into a pregnant woman's orange juice, which caused her to lose her unborn baby, has been jailed for 12 years. Susan, 40, also gave... Oh my gosh, he probably really thought he had nothing to worry about. Do you know what I mean? He's probably hooking up with this 40-year-old woman thinking, I have nothing to worry about. She's so old. There's no way... I looked at the numbers. She cannot carry a baby to term. No way. Stuart Wombley, 40, also gave Oh wait, that was his age. My bad, guys. Also gave a woman a number of other abortion tablets by using deception to blindfold her and engage in sexual activity. The woman, who is entitled to lifelong alimony by law as a victim of a sexual offense, was 15 weeks pregnant when she miscarried. Shortly after they administered, she began bleeding and was sick in the bathroom and attended Norfolk and Norwich University Hospital after enduring hours of pain, blood loss, and underwent surgery. She then found messages in his phone to his friend Wayne Finley to say it's working, there's a lot of blood, causing her to realize this entire thing had been a planned termination. Edward Vickers, prosecuting, said at Friday night's hearing at Norwich that it was quite clear that the woman wanted to have a baby. In a victim impact statement read by the court to the prosecutor, the woman said she had failed to protect my baby. This pain will never leave me, knowing that this baby could have been my only chance to be a mother in my lifetime. She continued, I haven't been able to conceive and have another baby. The woman said she had gone from fertility clinic to fertility clinic, and being a mother was a dream to me. Mr. Vickers and Warby's offense was deliberate, well-planned, and callous, and he helped obtain abortion drugs by his friend's partner, News Capita. He said Wolbsey paid £470 to book an appointment with a gynecology center in London. The appointment took place in the summer of 2022, and a prescription was made for 2 abortion drugs with painkillers. The prosecutor said, upon his arrest, police found texts on his phone discussing abortion medication and a Google search for misoprostol, as well as searches related to whether a baby could survive an abortion. He pleaded guilty following an earlier trial at Norwich Crown Court of administering poison or using an instrument with an intent to procure a miscarriage. He was also found guilty of assault by penetration and on Friday he admitted to the possession of cannabis that was found as police arrested him. Sentencing on Friday, Justice Joel Bethenhan told him, you are a selfish man and set about aborting a baby without the woman knowing. Because women never do that. Every man knows when his girlfriend gets an abortion or wife. He said that Warby's only mitigation is your previous good character. The judge also made a restraining order barring Warby from contacting the woman indefinitely and ordered that he pay her £10,000. After his sentence was read, Warby asked if he could say anything when the judge told him that he could not. Warby said, thanks for your time, and was led to the cells. Capita pleaded guilty to supplying an instrument to procure a miscarriage. The judge asked, I accept that you only became involved in this due to pressure. I can't even believe this. So the woman who is also involved in this, the judge said, I accept that you only became involved due to the pressure of Stuart Warby. So not her fault at all. His fault. No agency, all his fault. So let me get this straight. By this logic, if your friend asks you to, he's going to rob a bank and he wants you to be the driver. Did he pressure you into it? Was it his fault if he asked and you said yes? He also ordered that he sentenced the mother of 3 to 22 months in prison, suspended for 2 years. He also ordered that she complete 40 hours of unpaid work. He said it was ultimately a selfish act. Andrew Oliver, mitigating for Sapita, said the cleaner acted out of misguided loyalty to someone who is friends with her partner. He said Sapita had no previous convicted and she's devastated. She played a part in the harm and suffering that's been caused and didn't receive any financial or other benefits for the part that she's played. Okay, so again, as usual, now I can't say it's atypical. The men are evil for doing it, according to this, and the women have no responsibility or accountability. I can't say I expect anything less. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.